You know, I think the industry is looking a little bit like an adolescent. You know, when you're a toddler, you follow rules blindly, and I think that was a period where technologists were just developing the technology. And then when you become an adolescent, you become a little cocky, you question the rules, and regulatory stuff just feels like friction, and you start to take unnecessary risks. So I think we've just gone through that phase, and I think as we come out of that, the industry has to find its footing. And somewhere in your young adult years, for some people, you start to respect rules because you realize that rules, while they feel like friction, they provide long-term scalability for entire large groups of people. And I think people now realize that rules are not necessarily bad. So I think as we come through this period, the industry is going to be a lot better and a lot more scalable.
You've seen several cycles when it comes to crypto. Where are we now in this cycle? Do you feel we've reached a bottom, or is there more pain ahead?
You know, I think there's probably a little bit of pain ahead, but I've been quite pleased with the resilience of Bitcoin kind of at the level that it is. You know, I do remember a dinner I had with CZ back 4th of July last year, where we were kind of speculating on where the price could go. And at that time we thought, well, it might hit kind of 20, and if it holds there, that'll be the bottom. And it didn't, you know, and then it kind of went a little bit lower. But I think it's holding up, you know. So I think we're going to have some fluctuations based, I think, on interest rate levels and quantitative easing and where people think, you know, because Bitcoin has become a bit of a risk asset when it's supposed to be the anti-risk asset. But I think the psychology with institutions and volume has driven it into this, you know, kind of mode where it trades a bit with everything else. But it's holding up. So I think there's a little bit more downside, but I don't think there's going to be a lot.
It's always difficult to predict, but do you know how further lower you think Bitcoin can go this year?
I'd be surprised if it dropped below 12. Okay. But I think there's a chance it kind of has bottomed here. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if it hits, you know, kind of a 12 and it comes back.
And, you know, a lot of people I've been talking to have been discussing when is the next bull run. You know, CZ is talking about these 4-year cycles. Yeah. We have with Bitcoin. I spoke to Jean-Baptiste Graffier from Bitstamp earlier. He says we're going to definitely get a bull run in the next couple of years. So when are you looking for the next bull run for Bitcoin?
Oh, you know, I hate to speculate on things like that, but I think it could take a little longer. I think it's really kind of there's the macro effect, you know, kind of where will rates and quantitative easing, you know, how does it compare to gold, those kinds of things. And then I think there's the internal to the industry issues. Once all the dust from all of the excess leverage has to clear, or it has to get discounted in. And I don't know that we're going to know the full resolution of things like DCG and the after effects of FTX for another 6 to 9 months minimum. So I think it's probably a year away.
And contagion really has been a theme of this cycle, more so than we've seen in the past as well. We saw FTX and exchanges, you know, see that contagion there. We see some of these lending firms and their business models come under pressure and fall apart as well. As you look over the next few months, are there any other stress points in the market you see? I've spoken to people who said, look, we need to watch carefully stable coins and any kind of run or collapses in stable coins. We need to watch the miners. As you assess the market and the people you speak to, are there any stress points you can see?
I do agree that I think the scrutiny on stable coins has gone up for good reason. I'm not predicting a collapse of any of the major ones there, but I think just like in our traditional finance industry, where people got caught off guard by hidden contagion inside the subprime market during the great financial crisis, there could be a pocket or two of leverage on some of the assets that purport to support stable coins. And if one of those goes down, there will be another downdraft. I don't know how big it will be. It depends on which ecosystem has that contagion, if it does.